Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning everybody, I'm Fatwalia Sudrajat and my partner is
Kania Despayanti.
Back with us on C-Talk.
Talk.
So today we are going to discuss about land, people and history.
Wow, such an interesting topic.
Yeah, it really is, because land, people and history is such the core of the culture.
Yeah, of course, as interesting as our guest speaker here.
Okay, indeed, it is such an honor to have our guest speaker today here. And so without any further ado, I think, so anyone please welcome Mr. Dedi and Mr. Isan.
Mr. Isan and Mr. Dedi.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me to come here, Papa Tanya.
Yeah, it's such an honor to have both of you here.
Yes, it's my honor.
Okay, I think before we are going to talk too far, please let's have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
First of all, how's life, Mr. Dedi and Mr. Isan?
I'm fabulous today. I like today.
Well, that is super.
Okay.
Okay, glad to hear that, yeah. So we have an interesting topic today, as you can see on the screen, about land, people and history. As we know, recently in Cianjur there happened an earthquake there, and it is really terrible, right? What do you think, Mr. Isan?
Well, there's a lot of casualty there. Around more than 200 people have died, while half of them is identified. The half of them haven't identified yet.
Okay. What do you think, or how far do you know about this natural disaster, Mr. Dedi?
Yeah, firstly, I'm so sorry to hear the news about our brothers and sisters in Cianjur that we have this disaster. And when we are talking about land in our country, in Indonesia, we have what's that? That's called by fates. Because Indonesia has many mountains, and the disaster like earthquake is potential, and we have to be ready for that. And we are praying for our brothers and sisters in Cianjur. I hope it will be better soon.
Thinking about disaster, do you know that some disaster that has been happening in Indonesia range forces or the system?
Yeah, so many volcanic eruption, flood, earthquakes that signal imminent changes in human and metaphysical powers that be. Natural disaster often portend the fall of a national or local regime. So, Mr. Dedi, have you ever seen rituals by certain people in certain region that emerge after a natural disaster?
Yeah, actually, we are living with the different culture, very rich culture. We have that ritual, whether this is before the events or afterwards. But like our earthquake, like floods, this is the cause of human attitude, like garbage, for example. Yeah, we have to accept the natural condition. Natural condition means, we are in Indonesia, so we live on the earth where the underground is very potential for that earthquake or something. So that whether this is the ritual before the event or afterwards, this is our efforts to prevent, to minimize. But we have to be aware, we have to be ready. That's why in our Ministry of Education, we have the human activities. Human activities mean that we have to be ready, we have to help each other, that we are living together here in Indonesia, in the world. If someone or some community, some societies get an accident like disaster, we have to be ready to help them.
How about you, Mr. Isan?
Well, I heard that after one Batu wrestler in 2002, a tradition emerged that traveling and walking around 80 kilometers while spreading a white cloth. It is estimated to be attended by around 6,000 people and carried around 5 years. Yeah, once for 5 years, 15 years, I mean.
Okay, well, that's why the uniqueness of Indonesia, I think, because in Indonesia we have a really strong spiritual, we have a really strong religious culture, so I think that point will be the uniqueness of Indonesia. We're talking about how volcanic eruption is really potential and often in Indonesia. It means that Indonesia has a high fertility soils as its impact. I think so, Mr. Isan, how do you think about this? How Indonesian people utilize it?
Well, agriculture become one of the people way of living in Indonesia. Methods like white rice and Sweden, agriculture reconfigures the region of Indonesia. People in Java and Bali use the white rice method, while the other people in other islands use the Sweden agriculture method. It has become the distinction between the inner Indonesia that consists Java and Bali and the other Indonesian, which is other island. For example, Bali presents a marvel of cultivation through the systematic environment of rice terrace, as water system intrinsically scope much of the field. The highly intricate subak system in Bali, not only for reason for survival and social cooperation, but also following religious belief, define the correct and moral way of doing things.
Wow, it also has something to do with spiritual belief. Okay, Mr. Dedi, I asked the same question just in case you have a different point of view, or perhaps you want to add something. Who does Indonesian utilize or high specialist choice?
Well, this is our belief that we are learning culture. In culture, we have many beliefs as well. This world, we are living in one world. In other hand, we have some beliefs. Some beliefs mean we are Muslim, Indonesia, we have also Christian, Hinduism, Buddhism. And besides that religion, we have some beliefs in cultivating, in harvest, in how to have the daily income, how to have our agriculture fields, and in this way we have to know about other beliefs, because belief cannot be disturbed. I mean, we can know other belief and we can respect other belief, and our life depends on that beliefs. If you said that in Bali we have some ritual for the rice field or for daily activities, that is their belief. And probably for other belief, I think besides religion, we have many rituals that they believe that, and the life is going on. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, it depends on the belief, how a person or people, society, community run this life based on beliefs.
interesting talking about the agriculture in Indonesia. I wonder which city is the largest rice producer in Indonesia, Mr. Isan? Do you know?
Well, in the past, the capital city of Jakarta contains about 10 million people, and the second largest, Surabaya, almost 6 million people. Less than half of the national population lives in rural areas. Rural people support themselves through wet rice cultivation in Bali and Java, and through the government effort in 70s and 80s. The people there in Jakarta and in Java and Bali came pushed to the other island, which with the program called transmigration. The policy is aimed to be relieve urban pressure in Java and to Indonesianize the people of other island by converting them to the wet rice farming, because in the past the Japanese rulers believed that wet rice agriculture is the sign of the civilized people.
Right. And I think that one is about historical background where the agriculture finally spread among Indonesia. And I think my question isn't answered yet. Mr. Reddy, which city is the largest rice producer in Indonesia?
Well, yeah, this is right. What Isan said, that Java is the center of Indonesia. This is the biggest probably, and the population is very large, and also how people manage the land of Java. And Java has some fields, and that's one of them is about our agriculture. We have the potential in Borneo, Kalimantan, or in Sumatra, but we need probably the people, the human resource, how to manage the land. So when you ask which one, I think this is right. Java still the one that is very potential. Probably in some fields, some areas like education, farmers, agriculture, still we have in Java. That's why our government, like what Isam said, we have the transmigration because we live in Indonesia, we have to spread, we have to have the similar, because Indonesia is us, so there is transmigration. That is in the past, and probably nowadays it has a different view, because everybody like education, agriculture has been spread out in Indonesia for us.
Wow, it's getting interesting to talk about this agriculture in Indonesia. I'm curious how or when the agriculture began in Indonesia. Mr. Isan?
Well, if we are talking about how agriculture rose in Indonesia, it begins in the last half of the 7th century, where around the city of Palembang became the center of the Srivijaya Empire. Palembang at the time controlled trade and shipping through the Strait of Malacca, which makes them a lot of money. But after centuries of power, Srivijaya went into decline because the trade expanded by the Chinese. Fast forward, during the 18th and 19th centuries in Central Java, rose the Salyendra dynasty with their rice-based society. This island society involves specific types of ecoregion, with the leaders controlling the water association, essential to maintain the wet rice agriculture. In this era, we finally see that how Indonesia become agricultural region. People appeal to supernatural force to provide land with water and ensure fertility of their crops. In this way, the ongoing relation between the people, the gods and goddess, ancestor, spirit, and then agriculture are vital to Indonesian society. After that, the great empire of Majapahit grows as the right-wing polity coming to power in the late 13th century. Majapahit gained political authority over central Java and the island of Madura. Majapahit later became an exemplary model for 20th century's nationalist leader in Java. Conditions, however, eventually changed drastically in the archipelago, leading to the decline of this great empire. The spice trade, which gained interest by the Europeans, grew so enormous that it is impossible to control it, leading to the ruins of the empire. That's all.
Interesting. I think, what do you think about this stability? It seems like you want to add something.
Yeah. You know, that's why Indonesia is very rich from the beginning of Indonesian land here, and our agriculture, and then our cultivation, our fields. That's why the other countries interested in Indonesia, and why it happened invasion. You know, because other countries like Europe, within Europe we know Holland and then England, they came to Indonesia because they are interested in our agriculture. We have very rich in terms of ingredients, you know, and then we have some uniqueness in our land that is not possessed by other countries. That's why we have to maintain, you know, you are the next generation, the young generation, you have to maintain our Indonesia, our land, people, history, and our richness. Papua, Tamiya, Isan. I want to add that because Indonesia is very rich, but we need the outstanding human resources. Okay.
Well, instead of discussing of long history, I'd love to talk about the effects of people in Indonesia.
Yeah, I mean the appearance of Indonesian people, you know, like highly curved hair and darker skin tones, it distinguishes some region of Indonesians like Flores, Papua, Ambon, and you know, nowadays it becomes such a threat. People of Flores, Papua, Ambon often feels not confident of their skin tones, and you know, it really threats our identity. I think. What do you think about this phenomenon, Mr. Edi?
Yeah, probably it could happen because probably the government will feel hard how to unite the differences. Really, this is the hard thing for all government who has many ethnicity and many different skin, different culture, different belief. But so we have to overcome, because this is problem. And we need a human resource because we have to manage people. And to manage people is not easy how to manage good or staff. This is what human thinking and about feeling. Probably we have different language, different skin. It will have the negative potential. But you know, Indonesia is very expensive. Expensive means we have many languages, we have many religions, many culture. This is hard because, you know, like other countries in Europe, in Australia, this is easy because it consists of one language, probably one culture, one skin. But Indonesia has a variety of differences. Yeah, we need to help the governments or the other institution how to maintain whatever skin, whatever cultures that we are Indonesia. Yeah, we have to be proud. We have to maintain Indonesia.
Oh. And how about you, Mr. Rizal? What do you think?
Well, as you can see here, I have curly hair, but I don't really care about the nation. Because Indonesia, like Mr. Dedi said, have many people, many culture in this such big land, this big region. But we must be proud about it because even though we have different culture, we are united through the nation called Indonesia. Well, that's for me.
It's really well answered, yeah. But talking about beauty standard that comes out of nowhere, you know, beauty standard nowadays is such a threat of to our identity, to our nation, to our race, that kills our millennials today, sir. Do you want to give some advice from them, from the millennials today, for struggling to this phenomenon, I think? And it will be such a closing statement.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether this is your problem as a millennial generation that beauty or, you know, probably for me this is myth, okay? Because I think there is no standards because Indonesia or other countries like in Europe, in Africa, we have the different standards. So, as you are a student in university level in English literature, you also learn about math in literature. Probably you have accepted lectures from some lecturers from literature. Okay, because this is math, probably we have to study deeper, and we don't have any feeling to that threat, okay, because this is probably just your feeling, if this is threat, and yeah, we have to increase our skill and knowledge, and with that knowledge and skill, we can improve our life, not by just such thing like a threat and use something or standard. Yeah, I think just increase or skill up your knowledge and your skill. That is my advice for today.
Okay, well, I give applause to our speaker today. Okay, well, as Mr. Dedi said that, you know, it probably just in your feelings, millennials, so don't be too much overthinking in your midnight.
That's right, overthinking.
So we have come to our closing of our C talk, and I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Dedi and Mr. Isa. You know, it's such a nice discussions with you.
Thank you.
And don't forget, guys, to watch our programs because our programs airs every Friday because only in Seattle where culture never stops being talked. I'm Fatwalis Daja.
And I'm Kania Despayanti.
Thank you for watching.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Here's a little story from me to you. Hi. I don't actually know what's going on right now. I mean, everything's just completely blurry for me. Ever since 2020 came, lots of things happened and everything was all going so fast. Before I get to see what was actually going on, I lost everything. I didn't know what was wrong or what was right. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know that my somewhat called wise decisions was gonna be very tough for me. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything.